Welcome back to the deep dive. We cut through the noise to get you the insights you need. Today we're tackling a really big question making waves everywhere. Can artificial intelligence actually replace the human data analyst?
Yeah, that's a really timely question, isn't it? I mean, we've seen this just explosive growth in AI tools lately.
Yeah.
And naturally, it's kicked off a huge debate about, what this means for traditional jobs. People
Yeah.
love saying data is the new oil, which, okay, sounds great, but raw data, like crude oil, it's pretty useless until someone skilled refines it.
That is the perfect way to put it. And look, that's our mission for this deep dive.
Right.
We want to give you a real, no-nonsense breakdown of what AI can do, and maybe more importantly, what it can't do right now in data analytics. We'll look at the key AI tools shaking things up, and then crucially explore how you, the human analyst, can not just, survive, but actually thrive by blending this tech with that irreplaceable human judgment.
And to help us figure this out, we're leaning on insights from someone who's really in the trenches. Souritra Banerjee. Souritra's a BI analyst at Amazon, IIT Madras alum, and an expert in supply chain and AI.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they've been getting their hands dirty, experimenting with these new AI tools in actual real-world situations. So this isn't just theory, it's based on what really works.
Okay, fantastic. So let's unpack this. Maybe we should start by just grounding ourselves in what a data analyst actually does, because it's way more than just numbers, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's complex. Souritra breaks the typical workflow into about 6 main steps. And I think understanding this baseline is super important before we look at how AI is, changing things.
Makes sense. So what's step one?
Right. So the foundation is always data cleaning and preparation. This is kind of the unglamorous part. Finding and fixing errors, dealing with missing data points, making sure everything's consistent.
Grunt work.
Totally. If your data's messy, your insights are going to be messy too. It's like, trying to bake a fancy cake with bad flour. It doesn't matter how good the recipe is.
Yeah. Garbage in, garbage out. Okay, so data's clean. What happens next? Does the detective work start then?
Exactly. That's when you move into exploratory data analysis, or EDA. This is where analysts start digging around, looking for patterns, finding trends, spotting those weird outliers that might tell a story or flag an issue.
Kind of like letting the data speak.
Precisely. And once you've found something interesting, the next step is visualization. You got to present what you found clearly. So making dashboards, charts, interactive stuff that makes complex info easy to grasp quickly.
Okay, visualizing it. Then what?
Then it often gets into modeling and prediction. This is where you might use statistical models or even machine learning to, say, forecast future outcomes, find relationships in the data, or maybe classify things.
Like predicting next quarter's sales or figuring out which customers might leave?
It's exactly that kind of thing. And then this next one, for me, this is where it gets really critical for the business side, business storytelling. This is the art, really, of taking all those numbers and charts and models and translating them into clear, actionable advice for the people making decisions, answering that so what question.
That's huge. And I guess the final piece is making it all work together.
Yeah, collaboration and communication.
Yeah.
Because insights don't mean much in isolation. Analysts have to work with everyone, sales, marketing, operations, turning insights into real business actions. They're often the bridge.
The bridge between the data and the decisions. Got it.
And what's really key here is that every single one of these steps needs this mix of technical skill, business sense, and like you said, that ability to speak human just as well as code.
Right. So now let's talk about how AI is fitting to the contingent, because the landscape of tools out there, it's huge, right? And growing like crazy.
Oh, unbelievably fast. It's hard to keep up sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's out there for listeners maybe wanting to try some things? Broadly, you can think about 2 main types, though there's a lot of blurring lines.
Okay.
First, you've got these publicly available AI tools, stuff most people can access fairly easily. Think conversational AIs like ChatGPT from OpenAI or Gemini from Google.
Yeah, I've definitely played around with ChatGPT for SQL help. It's surprisingly good sometimes.
It really is. Great for quick code snippets, summarizing stuff, getting ideas from data you paste in. ChatGPT is awesome for like data cleaning tips, generating Python code, suggesting SQL queries.
And Gemini.
Gemini's strong on multilingual stuff. And you can even embed it in Google Sheets for live analysis and charts. It's bringing AI right into those everyday tools.
That's pretty cool. What else in that public category?
Well, then you have things like integrated AI copilots, tools designed to work right inside your existing software. Microsoft Copilot used to be, Bing Chat is a big one. It's moving into Microsoft 365.
So it helps with Excel and stuff.
Yeah, automates Excel tasks, makes charts, writes formulas, even analyzes Power BI reports for you, right within the tools you already use.
Yeah.
Huge if you're in that Microsoft's ecosystem.
Okay. And for the coders or visualization folks?
Right, so Kaggle notebooks from Google now have AI assistants for code completion, fixing errors, even finding documentation. Saves a ton of time. And DataCamp Workspace AI acts like an AI tutor, guiding you through data projects.
Like having a guide.
Sort of, yeah. Then there's Claude from Anthropic. It's known for being good at summarizing really complex data and tackling those harder why questions. And for visualization specifically, you've got platform tools.
Like Tableau and Power BI.
Exactly. Tableau GPT and Tableau Pulse lets you literally chat with your dashboards, ask it questions, get summaries in plain English, find insights automatically.
Wow.
And Power BI Copilot does similar things in Power BI. You can prompt it to build visuals, create complex DAX, measures those custom formulas in Power BI, or just explain what's happening in a dashboard. It makes advanced stuff more accessible.
Okay, so that's the more public-facing stuff. What about the big enterprise tools?
Right. Those are the enterprise and corporate AI analytics platforms. These are often the heavy hitters used in big companies for serious machine learning, like Amazon SageMaker.
What does that do?
It's for training and deploying ML models. It even has AutoML, which is basically AI helping build AI models, automating feature selection, model building. It lets analysts try out complex models much faster.
Okay, AutoML sounds powerful.
It is. And DataRobot is another big one, especially in finance and healthcare. It automates machine learning, feature engineering, and helps explain why a model makes certain predictions, which is really important for trust.
Makes sense. Any others?
Yeah, Google Vertex AI powers a lot of Google stuff, offering full ML workflows, great AutoML, often used with BigQuery for huge data sets. IBM Watsonx is known for processing massive amounts of data and generating reports using natural language.
And I've heard about AI being built into data platforms now, too.
Definitely. Snowflake Cortex AI is an example. AI features like anomaly detection and forecasting built right into the data warehouse itself. And SAP Analytics Cloud with AI lets business users do predictive analysis and planning without needing deep coding skills.
It's fascinating how many are blending that Copilot idea with deeper automation like AutoML.
Exactly. The bottom line is analytics is getting faster, easier to access, and sometimes, even more accurate because of AI.
So, okay, let's make this practical. How does this actually change things for you, the listener, doing a typical data task? Let's walk through those steps again, but focus on the things to try with AI.
Great idea. Let's start back at step 1, data cleaning. Traditionally, you're deep in Excel, writing SQL, maybe using Python pandas, manually fixing stuff. It takes time.
Okay, so how can you try AI here? Well, grab a messy data set, maybe something you have lying around, or find some public data, upload it to, say, Microsoft Copilot, or even just paste some into ChatGPT, and then prompt it simply. Clean this data, remove the duplicates, standardize the column names called XYZ. The AI can actually generate the code Python R SQL to do it.
Which saves hours, potentially.
Exactly. Souritra mentioned this frees analysts from just checking syntax like a code police to actually validating the logic and the business goal of that code. You become more of an architect, less of a mechanic. That's a key shift to try and experience.
Right. Then step 2, analysis and visualization. Used to be hours of pivot tables, tweaking charts.
So to try this with AI, imagine you're using Power BI Copilot or Tableau Pulse. Instead of clicking around, just type, "Show me sales trends per month and highlight the top 5 products for this year."
It just builds it.
It builds the visual, yeah. But often it also gives you a little text summary and points out key insights automatically. So the thing to try is letting the AI handle the chart building based on your plain English request. You then focus on interpreting what that chart actually means for the business.
Makes sense. Okay, step 3, advanced modeling and prediction. Traditionally, this meant manually building models, needing serious stats knowledge.
Yeah, so to really experiment here, try a platform like DataRobot, SageMaker, or Vertex AI. Some have free tiers or trials. Upload a data set, find the AutoML button.
Just click it.
Pretty much. The AI churns through loads of different models, tunes them, ranks them by how well they perform. Then you can ask it in plain language, which factors are most important for predicting sales, and get an understandable answer. The thing to try is seeing how fast you can build and compare potentially powerful models without being a deep learning expert.
That's a huge change. Now, step 4, business insights and storytelling. This was always tough, right? Turning numbers into the so what.
It was. But try this out. Feed some results or a data set into Copilot, Tableau Pulse, or Claude. Ask it to summarize the key business takeaways. It might generate something like, sales dropped in June because category B fell, which happened when a competitor launched a big promo.
Interesting.
Or maybe the Q4 forecast suggests an 8% demand increase in southern regions. The AI can draft that initial summary. Your job, the thing to try, is to then take that draft, validate it, add the crucial business context, and maybe anticipate the follow-up questions. Souritra stressed that AI might make a perfect chart, but it won't know the CEO is worried about budget or why the sales team might resist a new strategy.
That context is everything. Okay, finally, step 5, communication and action. Getting people to actually do something based on the data.
Yeah, the make or break moment. And look, AI can help here. You can try asking it to draft an email summary, create basic slide content, or suggest recommendations. But, and this is important to recognize, when you try it, it struggles with the really human stuff. Company politics, unspoken priorities, the subtle why behind resistance. That's where you, the analyst, are still absolutely essential. Your thing to try here is maybe using AI for a first draft, but then heavily editing it with your own emotional intelligence and strategic understanding.
Okay, so we've seen AI step into each part of the workflow. How close is it then? Let's weigh the pros and cons. Where does AI really shine?
Well, number one is speed. It's just incredibly fast at processing, cleaning, visualizing. Tasks that took hours now take seconds. The time saving is massive.
Definitely. And accessibility, right? People who don't code can now run pretty complex analyses just by typing a question.
Yeah.
That opens up data to more people.
Huge democratization. And scale. AI handles enormous data sets, millions, billions of rows without breaking a sweat, things that would just crash Excel or take ages manually.
Plus, it's always on 24/7 availability. Great for global teams or urgent requests. And some platforms offer continuous learning, meaning they update with the latest methods automatically.
Okay, those are strong positives. But where does it fall short? What are the gaps?
Well, a major one is context understanding. AI doesn't get office politics or the specific strategic priorities of this meeting or the real reason behind that one weird sales spike last year.
Yeah.
Souritra shared a story where an AI flagged a supply chain issue, which was technically correct, but it was human intuition, knowing about a specific geopolitical event that explained the real why. AI couldn't connect those dots.
It lacks that real-world grounding. And related to that,
If nuance.
yeah.
AI might miss subtle things, quiet trends that someone with deep experience in that specific company or industry would pick up on. It sees the forest, maybe, but misses the really important individual trees.
And creativity and hypothesis generation. This is a big one for me.
Me too. AI mostly answers what you ask it. It doesn't typically come up with brand new questions or hypotheses out of the blue. It's not curious like a human is.
That really makes you think, doesn't it? If AI handles the what's the human role, and then there's communication.
Right. AI can generate text, sure, but often it feels generic. It doesn't know how to tailor the message perfectly for the specific audience or how to persuade, how to tell a compelling story that actually drives action. It lacks that human touch.
So, given those very real gaps, why do analysts still matter so much? What are those irreplaceable human things?
At the absolute core, I think it's business intuition. Understanding the why behind the data. That takes experience, empathy for the business context, things AI just doesn't have. Seeing correlation versus understanding causation in a complex system.
Absolutely. And stakeholder engagement. Presenting findings isn't just showing charts. It's about persuasion, telling a story, handling tough questions on the fly. AI can't read a room or build trust like a person can.
No way. Then there's just messy, real-world problem solving. Business problems rarely come neatly packaged. They're ambiguous, need creative thinking, iteration, and loads of human collaboration to even define properly, let alone solve.
So it's not really about replacement, is it? It sounds more like a new kind of analyst is emerging.
Exactly. The AI-empowered analyst, someone who leverages AI for the routine stuff, the heavy lifting, freeing them up for the higher-level thinking, the creativity, the strategy, the leadership.
Okay, so for you listening, if you're an analyst now or want to be, how do you make sure you're ready for this future? What are the practical things to try to future-proof your career?
Okay, number one, and you can start this today, master prompting. Seriously. Learn to write really effective prompts for tools like ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini. Think of them as new teammates.
The better you ask, the better you get.
Precisely. Practice it. Experiment. Share good prompts. This is becoming as crucial as SQL was. It's a core skill now.
Okay, prompt engineering, what else?
Second, Focus on interpretation. AI can make a dashboard, but you need to explain what it really means, what action to take. Sharpen your critical thinking. Don't just accept the AI summary, challenge it. Add your context. Find the deeper meaning.
Be the sense maker.
Exactly. Third, embrace continuous learning. This field is moving incredibly fast. Stay updated on new tools, watch webinars, join communities. Keeping up is your competitive advantage.
Makes sense. Fourth,
showcase projects. Build a portfolio showing how you use AI in analytics. Grab some open data. Use the public tools we talked about. Solve a problem. And then share it on LinkedIn or your website. Show people you can do this.
demonstrate the skills. Got it. And finally,
and maybe most importantly, level up soft skills. Communication, managing stakeholders, ethical thinking. These human skills are your differentiator. AI isn't replicating empathy, persuasion, or nuanced judgment anytime soon. These are your superpowers.
So wrapping this up, after diving into the sources, especially Souritra's hands-on experience, what's the verdict? AI tools are, without a doubt, changing data analytics, making things faster,